I think the good news, if there is good news so far, is that most people that are getting the avian flu are getting it from the animals, but not from other humans. This is typically the way animal viruses begin jumping over to humans. Now, there's a chance that it will mutate and go human to human. What was extraordinary about COVID-19 is it didn't do this indolent jumping one at a time and not spreading on humans. It immediately went through humans. And so that's why we think COVID was pre-adapted to go human to human. And in fact, if you look at how COVID fits to the receptor of the cells, and you look at a whole range of other animals, the animal that it best fits the cell for was humans from the very beginning. So we think it was designed or adapted for humans. With the avian flu, so far, it's not human to human. So my hope is it won't be. I think an interesting
Is there a lab, sorry to interrupt, but is there a lab that is doing research? I've heard of a lab that's doing the human to human transmission of bird flu. I believe it's in Michigan, that was funded by the Gates Foundation to study avian flu going human to human.
Yeah.
Is there a risk I mean, I've heard of some of these lab leak risk across our nation. They're terrifying.
Yeah. I think that there's a much greater risk of avian flu being deadly if it comes from a lab. From the animals, it is going to be a bad luck thing that may happen or may never happen. But from a lab, if they're growing it in mice that have human lungs, they're adapting it, they're pushing it to adapt to human cells, and then it's a great danger. But one thing I was going to say, and I don't know if you've had him on or if you know of him, but do you know Joel Salatin is a great sort of sustainable farmer. But one of the things I learned when I went to his farm in the Shenandoah was that he doesn't vaccinate his chickens and rabbits, but he discovered if he gets too many of them, they do die from disease. So he's small enough that I think the number was like 200, that if he has less than 200 chickens or less than 200 rabbits together, they don't seem to get sick and he can get away without vaccinating. The enormous farms that, you know, provide all the frozen chicken and stuff like that, you probably can't have those kind of farms without trying to vaccinate them against disease. But if you're trying yourself to find something healthy, you might do better getting produce from smaller farms, because I think the animals need less antibiotics, they need less vaccines. But if you don't give the vaccines and antibiotics to the ones in the enormous farms, then people get sick from the animals getting sick. So it's a catch-22, but it's an interesting debate to have. And avian flu, we're still watching, but the main thing we need to guard against is people purposely mutating it in the lab to make it more contagious. That's why I want a new oversight panel appointed by the president that could cut off gain-of-function research. It's a death wish to be taking avian flu and trying to make it infect humans. That shouldn't be done in labs.